Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the March 29th, 2023 Zoning Board of Adjustments meeting. Our next meeting is April 26th, 2023 at 6:30 p.m. here in the Matthew Thornton Room. And if everyone could stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Rodney, you have the preamble. Thank you.
Good evening to those in attendance and also those watching at home. For the benefit of those who have not previously attended a zoning board hearing, the procedure is as follows. Let me start again. Good evening to those in attendance and watching at home. For the benefit of those who have not previously attended a zoning board hearing, the procedure is as follows. The petitions will be heard in the order they appear on the agenda. However, the chair may change the order at their discretion. The board will treat all petitioners, their representatives, abutters, and other interested parties fairly and with respect. The petitioner will be asked to give an overview of their petition, read through their responses to the criteria applicable to their case, allowing for the board to ask questions after each item. State law and local ordinances establish the criteria that must be met in order for the board to grant approval to a petition, and it is the petitioner's responsibility to demonstrate that they have met each criterion. Following the presentation, the chair will open the floor for public comment, either in favor or opposed to the request. If necessary, an opportunity for rebuttal will be offered to the petitioner and the public. However, discussion will not be allowed to devolve back and forth arguments. All comments made shall be directed towards the chair. Should a question be asked, the chair will pose the question to the petitioner. Afterward, the chair will close the public hearing and the board will deliberate and vote on the petition. At this time, please silence all mobile devices.
All right, so for anyone that is looking to speak in regards to a petition or for or against a petition, if you could please raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? All right, thank you. All right, so for our, looks like we have a full board. So for our first petition, we have Jonathan and Patricia Shapani, petitioner owner, and Matthew and Teresa Fletcher, owners. Variance under section 3.02A of the zoning ordinance to permit a 4-lot subdivision with one proposed lot having reduced contiguous non-wetland area of 38,326 square feet, whereas 100,000 square feet is required. Parcels located at 12 Harrington Drive in the R1 residential by map, tax map 5B, lot 242, case ZBA 2023-10.
Rich, before we start, we might mention that the rest of the items on the agenda are going to be continued, so if you're here for anything to do with the vault, 526 DW, you might as well go home because they're not going to do it tonight.
That's a
Sorry.
good point. Thank you for mentioning. Yes, this will be the only petition that we hear tonight. Sorry about that.
No worries. All set?
Yep.
Good evening. Matt Peterson here with Keach Norsham Associates, representing the proposed variance for the owners of 11 and 12 Harrington Drive in Merrimack, New Hampshire. On front of you there is the aerial photo. The two existing lots. This here is 11, correct? Or is that 12? That's you. That's 12. So we're 12 on the left side and 11 here is on the right side. You can see Old Blood Road kind of winds itself through the trees here and comes all the way out to an intersection right in this location right here. The Harrington Drive subdivision was created about 23 years ago. Come to find out this morning was permitted by my boss, Steve Keach, at the time. The lots at the end are 7.371 and 7.276 acres in size. That would be this lot here, which comes down and around and up this way here. And then the other lot on the other side comes down and around up here and back around this way here. So two substantial oversized lots. I've been informed that back 23 years ago, there were two, maybe more reasons that Harrington Drive was not extended through to Old Blood Road, and the lots were not proposed at the time on Old Blood Road. They are, first, the development of the cul-de-sac at the time was looking to develop more of a high-end subdivision 23 years ago. I think we all know at the time Old Blood Road was not a town road at that time there. So he didn't want to push it through to Old Blood Road and have to upgrade Old Blood Road at the time. The other one was the cul-de-sac length, like I said, and trying developing what he wanted to develop at the time of it. It's pretty clear, you know, looking at, I think you guys have seen a lot of variances, obviously, over the years. Lots of different funky lot lines and things jogged and moved around. This was pretty clean to me as 4 lots out on Old Blood Road, and why it was probably left for this. Obviously now, 23 years later, we're looking at the request for 1 variance, which is for the lot on the left side as you're looking up at it here. Currently, the lot on the right meets all the zoning requirements, has the 100,000 square feet, has your frontage, and is a standard lot in this town of Merrimack. This lot here is oversized. It is 3.659 acres, and we are proposing 38,326 square feet of contiguous. However, when you take the contiguous, when you take the upland that I have back here, the upland that I have up along Old Blood Road here, and then the upland that I have here, the lot is well over the 100,000 square feet of upland. Typically, your upland is for septic loading, number 1. Number 2, obviously, making sure the lots are all consistent with other lots that have developed in the town of Merrimack as you move forward. And we basically have this wetland finger that runs through it to a culvert here and runs up towards this side here, and that's what cuts it off from being all contiguous. This plan here, I just had my septic designer take a quick look at putting on 2 4-bedroom, 24-36 type colonial with the garage, with the septic on site, just to show you that there's adequate land within these setbacks outside the buffers to locate 2 homes on this parcel. Both of these homes are approximately over 350 feet away from existing homes on Harrington Drive. And I will show you on the tax map, there are currently 3 houses and a 4th one that's just off the corner here on the opposite side of Old Blood Road. So we're proposing 2 lots on the south side where there are 4 on the north side. Again, I've tried to keep this consistent with the area, and I think what the intent of development in the town of Merrimack is, and not try to push the envelope beyond what I think is reasonable for this type of use in this area. And you'll see that on the tax map here. This is our parcel right down here. And as I said, there's 1, 2, 3, and then just the 4th lot just outside of our property line that's here. One of the other things that has happened, this development that went up on the hill here, they've brought water down Old Blood Road. There's currently a fire hydrant directly across from one of my lots here. There's a second fire hydrant across from the other lot. And then there's a 3rd fire hydrant just to the east of me by 11 Harrington Old Blood Road. So again, you know, we have the ability to tie into town water with these 2 lots. I think as a municipality, that's something that when you invest in sewer and water in your town, your goal is to develop both sides of that system so that you pay it back to the people that put it in originally. That's the gist of this here. It's kind of pretty straightforward. I'll get into the 5 criteria, but I'm not sure if you'd like to go through some comments first or if I should just go through them.
All right, you may have already said this, but the variance is really for the lower right property.
The variance is only for this 1 lot right here. Yep.
So what's
Upper right.
considered the frontage of the bottom right?
This is 250 feet is the requirement, and we have that.
On the cul-de-sac.
Yes. 250 feet. The
Sorry.
frontage did not change for either lot on Harrington
okay.
Drive because this right here is their existing property line. The only change on this plan here for this lot is their lot. So this line here starts here currently, goes to this point here, and it continues down to Old Blood. So this part would be removed, yielding this fourth lot out of here, second lot out of here.
Okay, so we're talking about the upper left lot.
Upper left, 242-1.
So, crazy question. Why is that the only lot that we have that's necessary for a variance? Oh, that's it?
Contiguous. Doesn't have the contiguous of 100,000. It has 120,000 square feet of uncontiguous by 3 different locations,
Oh,
and it's supposed to be contiguous.
okay. All right. Sorry, I was trying to piece it together.
Mm-hmm.
Should be putting the house up.
Yeah, right over here.
Right here in the,
Yeah.
There.
Okay. And are there any questions from the board before we go through the 5 points? All right. You want to just go through them?
Number 1, it must not be contrary to the public interest because, kind of the caveat, granting the area variance will not be contrary to the public interest. More specifically, the requested variance will not unduly conflict with the basic purpose of the relevant zoning ordinance as it neither alters the essential character nor threatens public health, safety, or welfare. The applicant believes the public interest in requiring 100,000 square feet of contiguous land is to ensure every parcel of land in the town of Merrimack has enough area to locate a home, yard, and septic on site and give potential homeowners enough land around the house for family or life activities. In this case, the applicant has over 100,000 square feet of upland, just not contiguous. However, the layout, as shown previously, is large enough for a house, yard, and septic, and this variance would fill in the existing town roadway with 2 new homes, similar to the 4 on the other side of the roadway in the residential district, and as such, the applicant believes this request is not contrary to the public interest.
Any questions from the board? All right, please continue.
It must be consistent with the spirit of the ordinance. Again, the applicant believes the spirit of the ordinance is to ensure similar lot size and upland for all residents in Merrimack, New Hampshire. The applicant believes a proposed lot that is 3.659 acres in size with a total of 120,000 square feet of upland is consistent with the area being proposed and consistent with the spirit of the ordinance.
Any questions on 2 from the board? All right, please continue.
It must result in substantial justice being done. In this case, the substantial justice for the town to not allow this variance would limit the town's water system by 2 homes, whereas granting the variance for the applicant would allow the homeowner to subdivide off the extra land attached to the lots, which is bisected by a wetland. The variance would then add 2 more homes and 2 more tax bills to the town of Merrimack inventory on the roadway that the town has water on, and this variance would allow the fill-in of homes along an existing roadway, which the applicant believes also creates substantial justice.
Any questions from the board? No. All right, please continue. Wait.
Number 4, it must not diminish the value of surrounding properties. Allowing the applicant to create 2 new lots on Old Blood Road would not diminish the values of surrounding properties. And as an engineer for 27 years and having held my real estate license in the state of New Hampshire, the most likely result of 2 new homes would be an increase in value of surrounding properties and not a diminish of values.
Patrick, you want to ask your question?
Yeah, can I get clarification on substantial justice? That just doesn't seem like.
So substantial justice, going through the requirements and all the legal jargon of the attorneys there, is not just, it's substantial justice if it was denied. Are you doing substantial justice to the town? Are you looking out for the town's best interest by denying this? Substantial justice, in my opinion, would be done by allowing the water system to have 2 more homes to tie in and help to pay for the system that's out there. That is a substantial justice to the town for allowing this.
Yeah, isn't the town of Merrimack's water system already stressed? I mean, I just saw something on the news about it the other day.
Why would it be stressed?
The water system is Merrimack Village District, not town of Merrimack. Right. So there's no benefit to the town, benefits the village district.
And contrary to what people think about the odd even watering days, that's not done for conservation. It's done just to even out the draw. So it doesn't appear to be any issue with the water.
All right, on to unnecessary hardship.
It must be shown the denial result in unnecessary hardship. And obviously doing my homework here on the unnecessary hardship, the biggest three things that they brought to the attention under the new cases in '09 is number one, the regulation as applied to the property interferes with the applicant's reasonable use of the property considering the unique setting of the property and its environment. These are two oversized lots that are over 7 acres in size. These are two proposed residential lots that are oversized by the town requirements. And the only thing that's affecting this moving forward is the unreasonable request that it has to be 100,000 square feet of contiguous and not 100,000 square feet of upland on the property. Number two, no fair and substantial relationship exists between the general purpose of the regulation and the specific restriction of the property. And again, I go back to your requirements of, I know you've had lots that don't have that 100,000 square feet and don't have any more upland anywhere else. This one here has 3.69 acres. This thing could have a 20-bedroom house put on it based on lot loading from NHDES. So for all the requirements that you'd want to minimize and have your upland area, we meet all state requirements that would allow us to develop this parcel. And then the variance would not injure the public or private property of other rights. Obviously, it's two residential homes that are allowed in this district. And then the second half is the proposed use is a reasonable one. I think we're all on board that a residential use in a residential district on a residential road in the town is a reasonable use. I will end there and open it up for questions and comments from the board.
Can you show us on the map again? Can you show us on the map again the area where this small lot is being requested and the upland that, if I understand you, is part of the same ownership will be, but it's not contiguous? It's a little strange.
What's that they're not contiguous or?
Yeah. I own some land here and I own some land here. And there's someone else's land in between.
Oh, no, that's not the case.
No?
No,
Well,
sorry,
show
you
me.
didn't understand that. So this is the lot we're talking about right here, outlined completely. Comes around. This here is 3.659 acres in size. So this would be one lot we're asking for. The upland is right here, is where we envision a house going. Then the other upland is here along the frontage. I mean, they could put a house here if they wanted to. It's a smaller building area. And then they have the upland in the back here that if they wanted to get a driveway crossing from the DES, they could put a house up in that location. So technically, they have three locations that are all owned by them that they could go get certain permits and put a house wherever they would like. So it's all one it's all one parcel, not like any other parcel, not any different than any other parcel in the town. Actually, the piece right next to it here, you know, John's piece right now is bisected by this wetland here. He actually has a pretty major wetland crossing that he did at the time to get to his house. And he has upland on the front side that he can't get access to. And as you go down the subdivision, this wetland goes the whole way down. I didn't look at the other homes. Do they also have wetland cross? They do. That's what I thought. So each one of those has upland on the front side and they cross to get to the land in the back.
Is that the purpose for that real long driveway? To get over that? Okay.
So this is very similar to what's already been created in the front half of this development on the back half. Does that explain it?
Matt, let me ask you a question that might clarify this. If these wetlands were not where they are, then you would have sufficient contiguous space and you wouldn't be here for a variance.
See this little corner right here? If that little corner where that point came in, I'll zoom in here for you.
Yep,
This little point right there, if that point was back here,
yep,
I would have had contiguous for the whole thing.
right. It's just the fact that,
If this wetland, if it didn't go right to the culvert and it was just back a little bit and it came around, I'd have contiguous. So
and you wouldn't be here for a variance.
I would not be here for a variance, correct?
Does that help?
Yeah, that does help.
Thank you. That's a good point. Any other questions from the board? All right. I'd like to go ahead and open this to the public. Is there anyone looking to speak in favor of this petition? Anyone looking to speak against this petition? Sure you can, but you have to have been sworn in. Did you swear in? Because I. No, I didn't. All right, if you could raise your right hand. Yeah. No, you don't have to stand up. Just. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? All right, thank you. And if you could please
You're gonna
come
have
up.
to stand up anyway.
Come up to the microphone.
Can you hear me? I usually don't need a microphone. Greg Daniil, 9 Harrington Drive. So one of the neighbors. And really, I'm just here for an informational basis. So I'm not sure if this is the proper forum or where to get
Absolutely.
information or questions answered. And I'm a little bit more confused after sitting here for 20 minutes. Is it 2 new houses or 4?
There's 2 existing houses, and they're talking
Yeah,
about
yeah, John,
adding
yeah,
2 more.
yeah.
Yeah.
Will they be coming in off of Old Blood Road or will they be coming in off of Harrington?
Old blood.
Old blood.
Off of Old Blood. And then you had mentioned something about town water being on that road, so will it be town water as opposed to a well? And
Yes.
I don't know, a septic that really doesn't bother me. So the construction entrance, trucks, vehicles coming and going will all come in off of Old Blood Road?
Yes.
Yes.
And there'll be no disruption to the current cul-de-sac?
Yeah, because I'm sure they don't want construction vehicles driving through their properties to.
Well, yeah. But I didn't, like I said, I didn't know until, so, so like I said, I'm not,
No, everything comes off Old Blood Road. Construction as well as driveways for the new properties.
and house size, I think it was mentioned what the potential will be.
Just for the record, that's just, giving us, I mean, it could be a 3-bedroom, it depends on what they, right now, I
Yeah.
tried to show worst case a 4-bedroom, but honestly, we're building a lot of 2 and 3 bedrooms right now, so it kind of depends on
Yeah.
what.
Basically, this variance has to pass before they can even consider what they were going to put on the property.
Yeah, and I don't, knowing the land there, I have a feeling we probably won't even see it. John, you would know better than I on that.
Probably.
And also, should this pass tonight, it will have to go in front of the planning board, which at that point, you'll come in and you'll get a lot more detail to what they're doing.
Okay.
We're just giving them, we're either denying or giving them permission to split the lots.
Okay. All right, I'm not opposed.
All right, thank you. Is there anyone else looking to speak on this petition? Sure. Have you been sworn in? All right, can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? All right, thank you. Please come up to the microphone and just let us know your name and where you're located.
And I'm on 21 Old Blood.
Okay.
I just want to know where those 2 lots are on Old Blood. I can't picture where on.
Do you know what number Old Blood they're across from?
No.
No, I'm asking.
I can answer.
Oh,
Okay.
So this right here is your house, 21, Old Blood. Your driveway's approximately here. It's just past, I was actually up there today. It's just past your driveway here is where we proposed 1 driveway. And then the second driveway is before you get to the next fire hydrant and the road going into 23. So it's between your house and 23.
so between those 2 are going to be 2 driveways.
Yes.
Correct.
At least that's what they're suggesting, but again, they have to come to the planning board in order to get that approved.
Right, that had to be a planning board decision as well. So when we go to our next hearing, if we got to that point, the planning board would talk about things like that. And we can talk.
All right. Is there anyone else looking to speak tonight? Have you been sworn in? If you could please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? All right, thank you. If you could please step up to the microphone and identify yourself and where you're located.
Name's Jay. I'm at 23 Old Blood Road. I didn't realize, because I can't see that very clearly, that would basically be right across from my house and Doris's house. So I'd be opposed to that. I realize I can't necessarily stop it, but I moved to the area because of the rural character. I was disappointed they paved my road, put in town water, And now my view would be 2 houses, 2 driveways. So after several years of nonstop construction and blasting, can't say I would look forward to that, which would taint the character of the neighborhood from my point of view. So I don't want that to happen.
Okay.
That's all.
All right, thank you. All right. Any other comments, either in favor or against the petition?
I agree with him. I didn't feel I could say like he wants any new development coming in, but that's right across.
Well, what I can say is, from a zoning perspective, I'm absolutely in favor of this. However, that's a zoning perspective. That's not where they're putting the property, and where they're putting the property could change. So the reality is that discussion, what it sounds like you two are opposed to, is not the discussion we're having tonight, but that discussion will be had at the planning board, and that's probably where you want to go to bring that up, because they could theoretically relocate those houses and not put them in those locations. For now, what we're talking about is the land use itself, not where the properties go. So I totally understand your concerns. And I definitely recommend you take a look at the planning board meetings where those take place, because that's where those specific issues will be addressed. All right, so what I will go ahead and do is close the public portion. And discussion or a motion from the board?
You gonna do one? You want me to do one? I'll do one.
Do you have the,
I do. I make a motion that the board finds the petitioner's responses to the statutory criteria are sufficient, proved each criteria is met, and that the board adopts the petitioner's responses as the board's findings of fact, and further, to grant the variance under section 3.02A of the zoning ordinance to permit a 4-lot subdivision with one proposed lot having reduced contiguous non-wetland area of 38,326 square feet, whereas 100,000 square feet is required, subject to the following conditions. The petitioner shall obtain approval from the planning board for the proposed lot line adjustment and subdivision.
Second.
all right, motion made by Lynn, seconded by Rodney. All in favor? All opposed?
Ben
All-
hasn't made his mind up yet.
Abstain.
You can't,
Abstain?
You can't.
you can't, you need to have, you need to go back to
Now
the
opposed.
Okay. So 3-2-0. As always, there's a 30-day appeal window where somebody could appeal this decision. So moving forward is at your own risk in the first 30 days. But otherwise, congratulations and good luck.
Thank you.
See you at the
Great night.
planning board. You're in a butter. It'll be here, either the first or third Tuesday of the month. Yes.
You'll get a notice.
Minutes?
Let's go. What are you doing here? Waiting for the room to clear.
Nah, don't worry about it.
Okay, so the next 4 petitions are requesting a continuance. I'll read all 4 of them in, and then we can vote. 526 DW Highway LLC petitioner owner. Variance under section 17.07.3 of the zoning ordinance to permit a billboard sign to be erected in the C2 General Commercial District. Parcels located at 526 Daniel Webster Highway in the C2 General Commercial, Aquifer Conservation and Elderly Housing Overlay Districts, and the Wellhead Protection Area, tax map 5D-2, lot 001, case ZBA 2023-11. Same location to permit the placement of a structure to sign posts to be located 28.2 and 33 feet from a wetlands boundary, whereas 40 feet is required. Parcels located in the same location ZBA 2023-12. Again, same owner, same location, is a permit placement of a ground sign to be set back 3 feet from the edge of a public right-of-way, whereas a 20-foot setback is required. Parcels located at 526 Daniel Webster Highway in the C2 General Commercial, well, same location. Case ZBA 2023-13. And then also permit a ground sign with a maximum area greater than 100 square feet and visible from the F.E. Everett Turnpike in an area where posted speed limit of 65 miles per hour. Or still same location, case ZBA 2023-14.
Move we continue to the April 26th,
6th.
April 26th meeting?
With no further written notice to abutters
Correct.
and this room.
In this room. Same time, same place.
I second.
All right, motion made by Lynn, seconded by Rodney. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, 500. Do we have any other items of concern?
Minutes?
That's an item of concern.
Nope.
I move we approve the draft minutes as published.
What are you doing? No, we're not pulling this.
What?
Keep moving, keep moving.
I second it.
We could have been out here at 7.
Motion, you know what? I just want you to know, I think you would do a great job being chair come, what, is it July that we do this, or?
That ain't happening.
I'm afraid he's gonna
Oh, yeah, I know.
drop on us
I
here.
make a motion, we adjourn.
Okay, I'm sorry.
At-
So, no.
Wait, whoa,
well,
back it up, back it up. You got a motion on the minutes.
motion made by Lynn, seconded by Rodney. All in
Hold-
favor?
Holster them there, cowboy. All right.
was gonna be ready to
I abstain because I wasn't here and I didn't see it.
Okay, 501. And
401.
401.
There's only 5 of us here, so you add it to 6 doesn't work.
It's been a long day.
For other controls.
It's off the rails.
See what you're in for?
Now can I make a motion to adjourn?
Make
Yes.
a motion.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Good night.
Second.
All right,
Thank you.
Rodney, seconded by Patrick. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 500. Thank you and good night, everyone.